Okay, welcome to the Pawn Sacrifice channel and part 36 of the 924S turbo build. And I'm recording this retrospectively. I had meant to do a whole thing about fitting the electric water pump, a Davis Craig water pump, and I started out doing that, and then I got a bit distracted and started meddling with the turbo and clocking that. Just in terms, it was when I was trying to find space in the engine bay and work out what I wanted to do and where I wanted to put the water pump. So that will be the next episode. I'm just going to actually now finish a couple of extra bits on that and then get that done. So this time round, the film may sound a bit more glamorous than it actually is. My little video is going to be about clocking the turbo and basically changing that. So I can see where the pipes are going to be coming up to give me a rough idea on there. And then I got around to looking at the turbo, and this is where it all went a bit wrong. So the outlet was pointing directly down. I've managed to get it up now. Well, I could probably get a small hose on there, I don't know if you can see, but it's coming out very close to the manifold, which means that's going to be heating up fairly damn quick. So what I'd like to do is try and get it going up there. Now it's currently locked in place, or it's in increments of 90 degrees by the actuator and the positioning there. So I've just had an idea, so I'm going to have a look and see if there's anything that I can do that'll allow me to basically bring that up where I want it. So just taking this apart again, having a bit of a play around to see where the position is. Okay, so that's roughly the position that I need to get this remounted in. The other side is fine. So there's no mounting points on here that I can use. So I need to mock something up which will allow me to basically refit this and then hold everything in place. I'm just going to, I need to take the turbo apart again. I know roughly where this needs to go. I've got some marks on here previously where I clocked it. So what I'm going to do is just mark these up again. So there's no confusion. I'll put 2 lines on this one so I know which way around it's going. And yeah, now I can get this dismantled again. I need to essentially, well, the plan is that I'm going to get a piece of steel. I'm going to see how thick this bracket here is, and have a look about fabricating essentially. Fabricating one of these, which is the bracket that clips on around the outside and then sits over the lip. So I'm figuring if I can make another one of these, but slightly bigger, and then hopefully capture where the actuator bolts on as well, although that will be moved slightly, but that's not a problem because there's some adjustment screws on the actuator itself. So yeah, here we go. Right. That's the brackety bit cut out. and now I need to basically drill the holes, which will be those two. I will just double check that before I start drilling, because the other ones are going to need to be done slightly differently. So yeah, hopefully not break too many more drill bits doing this, because I seem to be going through them. So that is all good by the looks of it, but where the bolt sits just under there, I need to make room for that. So it's going to be a hole in there somewhere. So that's the first bit done. That all sits nicely on the thingamajig. This is roughly the right size of the hole there, so that it goes over and misses where the bolt comes through, and that's just the right size to get a socket over as well. I may need to trim this. So now I need to attach a couple of bolts on here. So what I'm going to do is basically drill them out to 5mm, tap them, put a length of bolt through, which is going to be cut, and then just tacked into or held into place with a bit of welding. So they're pre-drilled so far, so I just need to drill them at 5mm and then tap them. Then we can see about getting the thready bits in. The reason for threading these or tapping these was so that they would stay in place while I attempt the next bit, which is going to be welding. There we have it, my little detour is pretty much done. So that is, well, it's moment of truth time now, so I'm going to try and just get this fitted on with the other one. So with the welding there, I didn't use much filler, I wasn't going to, and basically just heated up the metals and let them weld onto each other. As it did, it sunk in a little bit in a couple of places, so I just added a bit of filler. I used a bar on the vise, so ideally I would have done it flat, but I just used the bar in the vise there to stop this from warping. One of the bolts wandered slightly, so when I did it with the filler, I heated it up and then just moved it slightly before putting the filler rod in. That's how fly I'm getting at welding. Boom. Right. So, easy side, as it shall be known. If this does work, I'm going to put it back on the engine for now, just so that I've got some direction on where things are going and try and take up a little bit of space. But it will be coming off just to get everything finally bolted down. I'm not going to take this as a win until it's done. Okay, that I think is the business. So there's a bit of a faff, And then I just realised something else I wish I'd done, but never mind. Bit of a faff, and yeah, that all seems to be in place. So let's get this beauty on the car there, and just have a look and make sure everything is pointing in the right direction. Okay, so my usual policy of full disclosure, where I've made the bracket and got this bolt here, it's potentially going to be in the way of this. Well, it is, but what I need to do is rotate the core that way. So hopefully everything will be out of the way and that will fit nicely through that gap, but we will see. Anyway, back to business. So this has gone quite nicely. I can put a 90-degree connector on here coming across. I need to get the vacuum line, which I think is just going to go from there to there, sort of loop, and need to work what's happening here. And I've got obviously clearance now, which when it was going down, there was an issue there. And although that's not a million miles away, what I'll probably do is just put a heat shield across or something across there to just try and deflect as much of the heat away as possible. So good day's work, I think. Right, so that's that distraction done with, and everything's finished. The turbo's now pretty much set. I need to rotate the core ever so slightly. There's a bit more faffing around with that. So what I'm going to do is just undo that, get that rotated, bolt it down to the hot side properly, and take the just mark up, and then take the cold side all the way off. And when that's done, I'm just going to put a bit of RTV, so gasket sealant on there, high temp gasket sealant, just around the edge, put the cold side on, and then get that bolted. Originally the plan had been that I was going to leave the turbo where it was and cut off the exit and just buy you can buy 90 degree quite tight sections that I was going to try and weld on, but with the way that things are going at the moment with on the welding front, I thought that this was probably the safer option, so I'm going to do that turn with the hose instead. As always, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for sticking with it. Thank you for watching. Hope this little bit of extra turboness was interesting. What I have found with all of this is I start out with good intentions, and then if I'm going to do this job, and then this job, but actually the reality of it is, unless you've done this a lot of times and you know exactly what you're doing, there's going to be things where you'll think, oh, maybe I could have done that a bit better, or maybe I should just redo this, and we've seen that a couple of times. So there's been a bit of duplications on videos, but there we go. Hopefully catch you next time, where I will definitely be fitting a Davies Craig water pump. If not necessarily all of the electrics, but just getting everything in there and mounted up. So yeah, that should be hopefully ready to go before too long. So apologies for the fidgeting. It's very cold in here, but that's me, and catch you next time. Cheers for watching. Bye now.